Joe Douglas and the New York Jets wasted no time getting right to work, adding solid players in free agency and also filling some major needs. Now that the picture is becoming a little bit more clear, let's go ahead and let's do a 7-round Jets mock draft post free agency. Let's go ahead and let's get after it. Before I get into the video, if I could get you to go ahead and jet up the like button, and if you're new here and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do want to let you know we'll be live streaming this upcoming Wednesday night as we always do, but we're going to be joined by Ian from Jets Central. He's going to join the panel. He's going to be talking Jets off season with us, and he's going to be talking NFL draft. If you ask me, he's one of the best minds regarding college football. The link for that stream will be in the description. As I alluded to in the opener, the Jets got right to work and they added a lot of not only starters to this team, but some high quality players, getting a right guard, getting 2 tight ends, getting secondary help in a safety and a cornerback, also adding to the edge rushing department. I think was a huge get for Joe Douglas and the Jets. This mock draft is going to be a reflection of those free agent signings, and it's also going to simulate the scenario where Aiden Hutchinson, Thibodeaux, and Ekwonu are already off the board. Without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and let's get started with this Jets mock draft. Round 1, pick 4, I have the New York Jets selecting safety Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. If you've been following the channel for a while now, this will probably surprise you. But in the scenario where Ekwonu, Thibodeaux, and Aiden Hutchinson are off the board, this is who I think the New York Jets will take. He's probably the best player available on the board at number 4 overall, and there's a lot of reasons why. So he makes a lot of plays. He's extremely rangy, has a lot of football IQ. He knows where and when to be on the field, plays with great anticipation, is able to jump routes, and again, just makes a lot of plays for the defense. So our turnovers will jump. I think he will be able to help create them. And then also you talk about his versatility. It's probably the best in the class. He can play everywhere. He can rush off the edge. He can play nickel linebacker. He can come down and play inside the box in those robber zone coverages. And he can play that deep half of the field as well. So when you're talking about one of the worst defenses in football last year, I think Kyle Hamilton does make a lot of sense. If you're one of those people that really doesn't like taking a safety at number 4 overall, I am with you. But I will tell you, this is one of the best mock drafts on the channel to date. So go ahead and stay tuned for the next pick. Round 1, pick 10, I have the New York Jets selecting edge defender Travon Walker from Georgia. This is not just an edge defender though. This guy can play on the inside, and Georgia used him in some really creative ways, actually dropping him back into coverage. And he's able to do that because he has some phenomenal lateral mobility. This is not just a guy that's going to get in the way of passing lanes. He can actually cover at 6'5", 275 pounds, which is remarkable. And then when you're talking about him as a pass rusher, the main reason we'd be drafting him, the hand power is very, very strong. And his first step explosion, as I mentioned, is some of the best in the class. The one thing that he does need to work on is some of his hand counters and some of his pass rushing moves. He is not a refined, edge defender. He's going to need some coaching and some work. But again, when you talk about the upside here, I think it's too good for Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh to pass up on. He's a New York Jet. Round 2, pick 35, I have the New York Jets selecting wide receiver Christian Watson out of North Dakota State University. He's 6'4", over 205 pounds, and can fly. 4.36 speed, had an unbelievable week at the Senior Bowl. Everything that I read said that he was dominating his one-on-one matchups, winning all of them essentially. And you talk about a guy that, he's not going to necessarily be a tremendous separator at the NFL level like a Garrett Wilson or a Jahan Dotson. But I do think we have a lot of those types of players on the team already. This kid would bring some different to the offense, can make big plays down the football field, can run after the catch, has a lot of upside in that department as well. The size, the speed, and the versatility that he would bring on the offensive side of the football, I think is, again, too good to pass up. And I'm sure that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh had their eyes on this kid at the Senior Bowl. I think it's a slam dunk pick if we can get him at the top of round 2. Round 2, pick 38, I have the New York Jets selecting linebacker Christian Harris from Alabama. This is an all-gas, no-brakes linebacker, ran a 4.4 40-yard dash. He's a 6'2", 225 pounds, and he is one of the best pass coverage linebackers in the entire draft class. He's going to help against stopping these running backs that are weapons out of the backfield receiving the football. He's going to be able to help to stop the tight ends going down the field. He can turn and run with anybody, in my opinion, in the NFL. So he's a great piece to have on the defensive side. And now 3 out of the 4 picks in this draft class, we have hit on all 3 levels of the defense. The defensive line, the linebacking crew, and the secondary. They will be much faster and much better on defense overall with these 3 guys joining the Jets. I will say the one thing that Christian Harris does need to work on is tackling fundamentals, but that's not something that I think that he can't learn and he can't improve on at the NFL level. Good coaches should be able to teach this guy how they want him to wrap up. Again, we're already better on defense, so I'm feeling great about this mock draft. You thought I was done drafting defense? Oh, no, no, no. Round 3, pick 69, I have the New York Jets selecting defensive lineman Perion Winfrey from Oklahoma, 6'4", 290 pounds. This is going to be one of the last pieces to this defensive line that we will need for the long haul. And again, inside pass rush cannot be overstated. The importance being able to hit the quarterback in the face. We're going to have a bunch of guys now on that defensive line that we can rotate on the inside. Jonathan Franklin Myers, Quinnen Williams, Perion Winfrey. Sheldon Rankins is still a part of the team, so you can put his name in the mix. And then you talk about the edge presence as well. Carl Lawson, Trayvon Walker, and the like. We need to be able to hit the quarterbacks on a down-to-down basis when they drop back to pass. We cannot. It's not acceptable for a quarterback to have all day long and expect to be able to stop them on third down, to create turnovers, to create negative plays. Adding as many pass rushers as you can is going to increase all of those things. And I think that Perion Winfrey is an unbelievable scheme fit for the 4-3 defense. And he's going to be able to play the 5 technique, the 3 technique, rotating inside with Quinnen Williams. I think that there is so much upside here. Hopefully he's there at pick 69 because I think he is a dream fit. Round 4, pick 108, I have the New York Jets selecting offensive tackle Kellen Diesch from Arizona State. This is a 6'7", 308-pound offensive lineman, and he has room to grow, guys. He's got a big frame, long arms, and very, very athletic. He ran a 4.9 40-yard dash as an offensive lineman. No, the speed isn't necessarily, what's most important, but the ability for him to be able to move laterally and to block in this outside zone running scheme, he is a perfect fit. And when he ran his 40-yard dash at the combine, Daniel Jeremiah was obviously commenting on all of the players, and he specifically said that this guy is a fit for the Shanahan offense, and he said, don't be surprised, any offenses that run that scheme take this kid. There are some knocks. He obviously needs to get bigger and stronger, and he is 24 years old, so he's certainly, up there in age for a drafted player. But again, scheme fit, upside, going to be able to be a backup offensive swing tackle. I think that that's a really, really, big need for this football team, is having some depth on the offensive line. He has some upside being able to maybe become a future starter on the offensive line. So with that being said, I think it's a great pick, great fit. Let's go. Round 4, pick 114, I have the New York Jets selecting cornerback Kobe Bryant from Cincinnati. He's got the size, he's got the speed, and I think that this is the sweet spot for Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh to go ahead and add another cornerback to the room. And I do think that it's still a position that they should be, continuing to draft, finding those mid-round guys to add to the room. We already have Bryce Hall, DJ Reed, Brandon Eccles, a bunch of other guys. I want to go ahead and I want to add another kid to that room Let the cream rise to the top in the cornerback room. Let the best guys win the job and keep the job. If Bryce Hall's the one that retains it on the outside, let's go. Hell yeah, I'm excited about it. But don't let him just, have the position by default. I want guys like Brandon Eccles to be pushed, and DJ Reed, we just brought him in free agency. He needs to continue to be pushed. He just got paid. Let's make sure that the cornerback room is very, very competitive. Lots of youth, lots of size, and we're going to be able to create some turnovers in the back end. Kobe Bryant excels at that. He will need to work on his hands and also need to work on his, his aggressiveness overall. Very, very aggressive player. Will need good coaching, and I think that he fits perfectly with what the Jets are going to be doing. Round 5, pick 144. I have the New York Jets selecting running back Tyler Algier out of BYU. He's a 5'11", 225-pound hammer on the inside. He can run up the middle, get those short, tough yards. But I also think he's not a one-dimensional power back. This is a guy that can run to the outside. He does have some creativity, being able to win some of those one-on-ones in the open field. And again, talking about not having one-dimensional running backs, he is a factor in the receiving game. Very soft hands, will be a factor in the screen game, and again, can help pass protect on passing downs. What you don't want is you don't want a running back that is so one-dimensional that the team that you're going against knows exactly what you're going to do. And I think that Tyler Algier would prevent that from being the case. I still want Michael Carter as my number 1 running back in the offense, but I think that Tyler Algier is the best complement in the draft class to what he can do and to what Zach Wilson needs on the offense. And with the final pick, round 5, pick 159, I have the New York Jets selecting tight end Cole Turner out of Nevada. Go ahead and turn the tape on of this kid. He is 6'6", almost 250 pounds, and he is a versatile weapon on the offensive side. Can play on the outside, can play in the slot, and will be able to learn, I believe, how to be an inline blocking tight end on a down-to-down basis. He needs some coaching and he needs some work in that department. And the best thing about signing those 2 veterans in free agency in CJ Uzomah and Tyler Conklin is that's what this draft pick allows. Don't make this kid come in and be an inline blocking tight end day 1. Let him do what he does best. And what he does best is he wins one-on-one contested situations at an incredible rate. This guy, if you watch him in college football, dominated at the catch point. He can make big plays for Zach Wilson down the seam and in the red zone. He's a matchup nightmare, in my opinion. One of my favorite players in the class. We go ahead and we get Zach Wilson, yet another weapon who can play some situational football in year 1. And again, in round 5, that is fantastic value. So even after taking a safety at number 4 overall, you can see that the New York Jets can still address all of the big-time needs that they have in the NFL draft, getting some offensive line help, getting weapons on the offense, and then just completely rehauling this defense, which needs so much help, guys. The defensive line, we have to add pass rushers. At the linebacking crew, we need more speed and more coverage ability. And then in the back end, we were able to add Kobe Bryant and Kyle Hamilton as well. I think that we will create turnovers and then we will be winning football games in 2022. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What are your thoughts on the draft? What players do you hate? What players do you love? Where do you think my best value pick was in the entire draft? I will read and I will respond to all of your comments. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Go Jets. And I'll see you guys next time.